everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zee Garcia. Hello.
Sam Healy. Welcome back, folks.
All right, we're always... Is my mic on?
Of course.
Mine is on.
Mine is now.
My microphone is certainly turned on.
Hello again.
All righty, folks.
Hello.
Well, today we're doing our top 10 board game series. A couple things differently. We're trying to stream this on Facebook. So if you happen to see this on Facebook Live, and so we're going to, hopefully that doesn't slow down our YouTube channel, so you can watch it on YouTube or Facebook. Although, if you're watching this later on, it's only on YouTube. Whatever.
All right.
That was the technical term. Okay, but so today is a
Off the walls.
Why am
You are bouncing, bro.
You're excited.
I had a salad for lunch?
No, you're excited about well,
Yeah,
you know,
new tech is like an upper
you're
for me.
tech
Yeah,
crazy
it
right
is.
now.
It's okay. Everybody does drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. All right, go ahead. You're excited. What else?
Okay.
So, series. What's a series of games, Mr. Vassell?
Well, I'm sure we will be in total agreement on this. So sometimes we talk about it. I deliberately didn't this time because I wanted to see what would happen.
Wow. He trolled us from the very beginning.
Okay, so
Get used to it.
no, but we did say this doesn't have to. We did say it doesn't have to be an official series. There are official series of games.
Like what? Name 7.
There will be a couple on my list, so you'll just wait. Then there's what I consider to be unofficial series. For me, my series of games had to. This was just for me. Had to be a minimum of 3 games in the series.
Why?
Because it felt like 2 was too little.
What if one is about to come out next year?
Whoa.
Okay,
The
I thought
third
about.
or the second?
The third.
That's okay. Okay.
I thought about putting that on my list too, but I chose not to because I made that arbitrary rule for myself only.
Arbitrary.
And I arbitrary. Sorry, I will. I will not. I will
On
not.
my games, I don't care. Some of them have 12 games in them. Some of them have 2. Some of them have 1.
12 games?
Some of them are just 1 game that I hope is a series.
No, I have one that has I think 20 games in the series.
One of mine has 32 games.
One of mine has 57.
Actually, all 10 games are from the same series. How many
That's
you
the
got?
question I was talking about. Are we talking about these are top 10 games that are part of a series, or are we talking about top 10 series?
The series.
Okay.
Okay, the other thing that I did not do is I did not consider, I don't know, again, if you guys did this, but like, for example, I didn't pick Summoner Wars, even though there was a lot of Summoner Wars, it's all the same game. I have one that comes really close to skirting that.
I definitely have one that comes very close to skirting that, too, actually.
So what's the difference between your 6 through 10 and your 1 through 5, if you could clarify that now?
There isn't one. These are all series.
Well, then how did you rank them?
How much I like them.
Okay, for me, I rank them by if I know another game is coming out in this series, how excited I would be.
Sure, I guess. That's the same thing, kind of,
Kind
right?
of, sort of the same thing.
Well, no,
For me, I
because there's a
ranked
few
them,
series that have a lot of really great games and then some really bad ones, so I don't know.
I ranked them on how much I like them and also how strong the series, I consider the series to be overall. How many ups and downs the series has had, in my opinion. Obviously, hashtag, always in my opinion.
Two of
Hashtag.
mine have only 2 games in them currently.
We'll get them. But not when it's my turn.
I told you!
Not when it's
No,
my
you
turn.
did!
When it's my turn and it only has 2 games, that's okay, right? Because I definitely did that at least once.
Let's go!
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is what I am calling the Legendary series of games, which would also include the Legendary Encounter games as well. So it all
series.
started with Marvel Legendary, and the Legendary Encounter system kind of was birthed out of that.
Like an alien bursting from the chest.
That's correct. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was like,
That's what you think when you hear the word birth?
no,
Oh, okay.
but that's what I was thinking when I said that.
That's the way I
About
used to
this
think
series.
babies were born, but let's not.
From the
From an alien incubation thing?
No, as a kid.
Incubation.
Incubation, yes.
You know what? We're getting off topic. Let's go.
Coming out! That's
sorry.
not my planet!
I'm sorry I brought that up.
My goodness. Anyway, Legendary Series, ones that have really kind of... I haven't liked all of the games in here, and I've really not liked some of the artwork in some of these games. But the system is what I like, and that's what we're talking about here. The series of games and the system that it's built around. Firefly, Big Trouble in Little China, both of those, I enjoyed the games, but the artwork was questionable at best. Marvel and Aliens, those are two of my other favorite ones. I never played the Predator one, which I think is your favorite one. Or is it
I think
Aliens?
I like the Alien one better still.
But I really enjoy this series. It is number 10 though, so I like 9 other series better, but this is a really fun series to play.
This is one I considered because I really like Marvel Legendary.
But
No, I didn't.
Okay.
The other ones, I didn't like the other ones as much. So I wasn't going to put a series on because I really liked one of the games.
I got it. Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's a valid choice. I approve. Go ahead,
right.
Z. I'm ready.
My number 10 is the loosest of interpretations for a series. And I'm calling this this is the designer's last name. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly. The Lu Shao Puzzle Trilogy. And this includes Uluru, Dimension, and Zalapa. These are 3 games.
I don't know enough about this to say anything.
All 3 of these
You're right.
games are real-time head-to-head puzzle games in which you are given limitations, and then everyone simultaneously tries to adhere to as many of the limitations as possible, try to score the most victory points. You guys have probably played Dimension, which is by far the better known one, in which you're stacking these colored spheres into a little bloop arrangement following rules. Like, oh, the green sphere cannot be above a yellow one, whatever. You try to follow these rules. The other 2 do similar things, but again, they kind of add they add some sort of spin to it in their own way. Really, the core of the game, though, is very similar, and this is this guy's bread and butter. So these feel connected to me. My favorite is by far Uluru. I think it's the most interesting. It's also the one that's been reprinted the most. The other 2, as far as I know, that's the edition that there is. Whereas Uluru has at least 2 other versions that have new themes, new artwork, all that jazz. So I really like this series. Zalapa's a little weaker than the other 2, and I eventually did get rid of it, but I have the other 2 still in my collection, and I do like them. They're very different. They stand out. These are weird games. And I like that to a certain degree. So there you go. That's the Lu Shao Puzzle Trilogy, my number 10.
My number 10 is a series of games that a lot of people haven't played because it's currently out of print. I don't know. My guess is that somebody will get the rights to these and kickstart them eventually, and that's the Cran Rail series. Mayfair had these for the longest time. This shows the newest version of Empire Builder. The original one actually came in a tube. But all these games play pretty much the same way. You have a big map on the board of a specific country or region, and on your turn you use a crayon and you draw different railroad tracks, paying money for it, and then you move your train, trying to deliver things. Huh?
Real money?
Yes, because that's what I mean when I talk about any board game ever made.
You said paying money.
If you need to buy new crayons, you need to pay real money.
Well, it's one of those games where you should use markers, not crayons. But
they came with crayons,
it
didn't
did
they?
come with crayon, and it always came with a yellow crayon.
Did it look right on the board? A yellow crayon?
No, you can barely see the yellow crayon. I like Bandit.
It shouldn't be called a crayon rail system then.
No, that's what it is. It's a
You
weird
can still
thing.
use the crayons. I'm saying I personally use markers.
So
I don't think
a
I've-
marker rail system.
I don't think I've ever played one of these. I'm trying to remember if I ever have.
Well, the thing is, they're really thinky and really slow. They work best with 2 players because you can, jump back and forth. And the game had a flaw in that when you could draw cards at the beginning of your turn or whatever, so you're like sitting there. Oh no! Whenever you delivered something, you would draw new cards, but then the game would pause as you're like, all right, now what do I do? So
I think I sat down to play one of these once, and they handed me a crayon and said, "You're going to need this in the game." I flipped the table. I didn't do that.
my number 10, the Cran Rail series.
I didn't.
Number 9.
All right, my number 9
Ooh, what could it be?
is
No crossover yet.
I
Hold
doubt-
on, I got my crayon games coming up.
I guarantee I have I think I have a
I actually
crossover
think-
with Sam, and I think I have one with you.
I don't think anybody's
there's
going to
at
cross
least,
over
like,
with this.
4 crossovers at least.
This one is what I'm calling
see.
the North
You'll
Sea
see.
series, and that
Bam.
is Raiders of the North Sea, Shipwrights of the North Sea, and Explorers of the North Sea. This series of games is one that I haven't Raiders the most.
By a mile.
Well, I wouldn't say by a mile because
Nautical mile.
I do like Shipwrights of the North Sea. Explorers is the one that's the lowest for me.
Wait, are you-
But
Are you sure Explorers isn't the one? Shipwrights is the take that one.
it's the one where you're building ships, hence the name Shipwright.
That's the one I hate it.
I know because it's like this. It's not like that. That's like explosive. You want to lose.
I have never actually vomited, not in a bucket or something anyway. So,
But anyway, this series
Stop
of games,
drinking.
I really enjoy 2 of them. Explorers is a little boring for me, but I really enjoy the artwork, and I think these games pop on the table, and that's one of the reasons that I like them. Games that look good are more fun, generally speaking. But I really enjoy this one, and I also like the other games that this guy has. I'm drawn to the games that has this guy's artwork in it.
well, sure, but I mean, I think it's the same designers for the next set too. The Paladins
It's
and
the same artist and designer for the next
But it's
trilogy.
the art
I
that
guess.
draws me in more than the designers, I guess. which
Sure,
is
sure,
really
sure.
strange.
Well,
I
the
didn't put
designer
this on-
doesn't do very much from what I understand for a game.
I didn't put this one on my list because I only like
You
Raiders.
only like Raiders, yeah.
And then I thought, well, I can combine it with Architects and Paladins, but Paladins hasn't come out yet, so then that only left me with 2 games. Therefore, my rule invalidated.
Wow.
But good choice anyway.
My number 9, the North Sea series.
My number 9 is Azul. You have Azul. You have Azul, the sequel, the Stained Glass of Sindra or something like that.
Yes.
And then Azul 3, to be determined.
Next year.
They might not make a third Azul.
I assume they will. The games are very popular. But no, I wasn't following that rule. 2 was enough for me, and this feels like a series. It has all the earmarks
Sure.
of like another Carcassonne in the making. You know what I mean? Of another one of these sort of things that's eventually going to be. And they had that spin-off, and then they had that thing. There's not, the theme isn't there like in Carcassonne where you could go to different places. But I feel that there will be more in this setting. So,
Well, I thought about making a next move series, and including these 2 with Reef.
That's an interesting idea.
What's an interesting idea?
Is a trilogy?
A series.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be. What?
could be, but it doesn't have to necessarily be.
Well,
Spoilers. Blood Rage and Rising Sun and Ankh are not on my list.
Oh, really?
People are calling for
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking
People
about
are
He
earlier.
calling
didn't. He said he didn't do that.
There are 2 that currently have 2 games in
Yeah,
the
but you
series.
said you would have included Blood Rage and Rising Sun, but the 3rd game isn't out.
See, that's the thing. I have a weird.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I have a weird idea, I guess, of what a series is. They have to be. See, Blood Rage and Rising Sun just aren't similar enough to me.
I agree with that.
They aren't similar enough. They don't
They have
feel
nothing
like
that
a
links
series.
them. They have nothing that links them
They
at
don't
all.
have-
Except unless you know background behind the scenes stuff.
No.
I guess.
Big giant monsters controlled by the players. A fight, very bloody.
Which could
same
be-
designer, same publisher, similar artwork, similar feel and play.
So what about Hate? Is Hate part of the series?
No, different size box.
See what I'm saying? It's like, come on, they're not a series.
I didn't put it on my list, so I don't have to defend this.
I don't gotta defend nothing, man.
That's why I didn't put Blood Rage and
You need
Rising
to
Sun
defend
and
that.
Ankh on my list.
No, you actually look
They
pretty
don't
good. I was
feel
going
like
to
a
say your
series
shirt,
to me.
but that's a good shirt.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I'm done. Azul, blam, go. What you got?
Oh, that's right. That was you. I thought okay, Sam went so long, I thought it was him.
No,
That wasn't
man.
me.
That was
My
me.
number
That
9
was me.
is possibly on Z Garcia's list later. I think it is,
I will
actually.
confirm or deny right now. Hit me.
The GIF series.
I can't tell you about that. Sorry.
So, I think, is there 7? 7's right.
There are 7, yeah.
And that's
seeing
the
as to how
7 right
there's
there.
one that says 7.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if the picture I got there was an 8.
That
that's
is the
come out.
last one, yes.
Okay. So there's 6 of them because I do like Link actually a lot.
Okay, so rank them. Go.
Oh, okay. Yinch, my number 1.
Woo!
Number 2, Devon. 3, Link. 4, Czar. 5, Punked. 6, whatever one's not up there. And 7, Zerts, because I hate Zerts. But I like most of them.
Gipf is the one that's not up.
Oh, I
there.
haven't played GIF. Okay, never mind. So I haven't played that one. But still, you talk about a series of abstract games, and I actually thought about putting a lot of series of abstract games on my list because there's a lot that are in quote-unquote series. This one is an old one. I mean, Link is the only game that's new. The other ones came out like a decade ago,
Yes.
most of them. And yet they really feel like a strong, solid group to me. So I like them a lot. The GIF series, and this one is one of the few on my list that's definitely called a series.
Or a project, because it's, ooh, foofy.
Top 10 board game projects.
I believe the technical term you're looking for is altsy-faltsy.
Yeah, hey.
Number 8.
My number 8 is what I'm calling the Forbidden series, and that is Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and Forbidden Sky.
Oh, it would have been on my list.
These guys do not like Sky. I think you equally hate it.
That is
Doubt
correct.
it.
Yeah, but I like.
Who do you think hates it more?
I think I might hate it more than you.
Well, I think you actually threw up after one play of it, so you probably do
What?
dislike.
I don't
it
think
the most.
anybody's ever had a game cause you to throw up, unless
Challenge accepted.
We're about to go play
I don't wanna.
Sushi Go with actual sushi, and it shall be
From a gas
ancient.
station?
It's going to be
Yes.
old, baby. We're going to make sure that we draft it a lot before you eat it. You know what I mean? All sorts of germs on
Now,
there.
out of these 3 games, probably Island is my favorite, although many people believe that, and rightfully whatever, say that
And rightfully, whatever. Right.
Desert is probably the better of the 3. I really did enjoy Sky. I loved it for its component value. I loved making the little connections and having everything fire off and all that kind of stuff. I liked that. Island is the one that I've played the longest, so I like it the best. But I do enjoy all 3 of these, which is why I made the list. So that's my number 8, the Forbidden series.
This would have made my list if I didn't despise the last one.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Desert.
But I'm not so.
And Desert
I'm
is
not
the
so
best.
vindictive as Z.
Desert is the best, yeah.
Objectively, it's the best.
I agree.
Wow.
End of discussion.
Thank you.
End of discussion. All right, my number 8. My number 8 is.
Sushi blow.
Okay, what do you got
That's
here?
disgusting. All right, my number 8 is one of the longest running series out there, Carcassonne. And
What? I bet
yeah,
it's the only time we'll see this one.
yeah, right. This is on everybody's list.
No, it's not on mine.
It's
Not
on
on
your
mine either.
list.
It's not on mine.
You got a few
You're
minutes.
so. It's out of yours?
No, it's not on mine.
Are you kidding? I thought it'd be like in your top 2.
It's not.
Are you kidding?
It's in my top, I'd say 20. I like all of these better than Carcassonne.
There's
Okay,
no
okay.
way. There's no way.
You're the Carcassonne guy.
Yeah,
I
you
do
own
have
like all
a
of them.
lot of Carcassonne. I do, but it
You are full of Carcassonne. Go ahead.
Do you own the gold one, the Western
Yes.
Legends one? What about the swimming through Hawaii one?
yes.
South Seas.
That one, yeah.
South Seas, correct.
What, and you own the Star Wars one?
Yes, I do.
You're the only person I know who owns the Star Wars one.
You
Bro.
see,
Oh,
you
actually-
should get out and meet more people.
No, we stuck it in the Dice Tower
He
library.
owns a lot of these. Anyway, my favorite is actually Carcassonne the City right there. But Carcassonne the Castle, it's a fairly different game spin-off. That's the neat thing about this series of games is that there's a lot of them that feel largely the same with a couple of little rules, and then there's a few games that really are deviations in most of the aspects. Carcassonne the Castle is a 2-player only game. It's from a different designer. It feels largely different. I think it's the first one where the sides didn't actually have to match, which is really weird if you're used to the classics. They made a card game. They made a dice one. They've done a lot of things. This is a big series. A lot of those I don't necessarily think are fantastic, but the majority I would say I enjoy and I do like. It's a solid series. So there you go, Carcassonne. If you've never played that, what have you been doing? Play at
All
least
right.
one of them.
My number 8, there's technically 5 games in this series, but since 2 of them are duplicates of 2 others, there's only 3.
What could this possibly be?
Century.
I couldn't possibly.
So Century, Spice Rose, Century,
Three-
Wonder,
three
Century New
games
World.
in the series.
No, there's also Century Golem Edition and Century Golem Eastern,
Those aren't
whatever.
actually different games.
I know, that's why I just said that. 5 games, but 2 of them are essentially duplicates of the others, so there's only 3.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a wall.
I don't know
I
if
can
this
be a
counts.
wall if you like.
Does this count? You think this counts as a valid
It's
pick?
definitely-
Really, you said Azul, you doofus. At least mine has 3.
That's technically 2 if
Wait,
you
was
only look at the
Azul a
Golem
real
series.
Wait a minute. Was Azul really?
The one I'm seeing up there is the Golem. There's
Wait
only
a-
2 of them.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Azul
yes,
was
at the
actually
discussion.
one of your picks? I thought you were trolling.
No, it was real.
Well, that's a really
mean.
delayed.
That's mean.
really
That's
delayed.
delayed meanness.
I really thought you were trolling on that.
Nah,
and
man,
that-
my whole list is trolling.
Okay, anyway, I think the Century series is done. I asked Emerson, like, would he do a 4th game that worked with the others, and he just looked at me.
He's going to do them again, but with never mind because I just brain farted and forgot that
Okay,
name.
anyhow, all 3 games are great. This is the one thing, like, I'll sit there and go, yeah, 2 isn't as good as 3 and 1, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
So I that's why I like this series a lot, Century, and they also all interconnect with each other, which is cool too. So the last series I have, the Gift series, does that too. Although I don't recommend doing that
not
one.
really. They don't really do that. It's a. I
It's
might
a
talk
mess.
about it later.
All right, my number 8, Century.
Number 7.
All right, my number 7 is, I would imagine, although Tom's arbitrary restrictions that he's given to himself may have kept this off his list, but the Ticket to Ride series of
Oh, that's
games
on the list.
is my number 7.
Why would?
Because it's essentially the same game. Just different,
Oh, wait.
slightly different rules, slightly different maps.
Well, you could argue actually that a lot of the things in it are actually expansions, not games. But there is, I think, 4 different games.
Is a standalone? Does a standalone expansion?
No, that's
exist
fine.
Itself, or
Oh, I see what you're saying, but it's not like you can buy Ticket to Ride Europe and then mix it with Ticket to Ride as an expansion. It's a separate game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a series. It's not just.
I
expansion.
approve of your number 7.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
See it.
All right. So anyway, the
You know
ones that
nothing,
are,
Jon
the ones that
Snow.
are pictured here are my favorites of the group. The original one, of course, Nordic, Marklin, and Rails and Sails, actually, which you two did not like very much.
He's just
but
a
I did
contrarian
enjoy it.
sometimes.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
I
no
did
one liked
enjoy it.
Rails and Sails.
No, I did.
meant-
I'm the one. I'm the
Contrarian.
one that took it.
I'm sorry, I forgot to add of importance.
I'm the one that took it home.
Got
you
it.
guys would have left it at Gen Con that year.
We
if
would
I'd
have.
let you.
Well, we were already mad about the delays of the plane, so
But
it was that too.
the Ticket to Ride series is my number 7.
All right.
All right, my number 7 is King Domino, the King Domino series of games. You've got King Domino. You've got Queen Domino. You've got King Domino rolling right, baby.
Oh, are you
That's
kidding me?
3.
Oh no, it kicked down a duel.
I believe.
Yeah, that's a rolling right. King Domino
Oh, it's a
dual
rolling
rolling
right?
right. Yeah, it says right there.
I believe you're taking a little bit of my mojo with this list.
Yeah. I think.
The King Domino rolling right was surprisingly good. I was really impressed by that one. It's a 2-player only, rolling right, in which you roll the dice and then draft them, and you're writing in. You make up dominoes with 2 dice, and you put them in. I really like it. My favorite is still Queen Domino. It's got a lot more going on than the original. But the first one is a very easy teach. It's like a light game that you can show to just about anybody. Folks will get it.
Yes.
It's 20 minutes or so. It's a really good introductory game to folks that haven't played much of anything past maybe cards or mass market games. So I would recommend this as an entry point. But then if you want a little bit more, Queen Domino is great. And like I said, a sidestep. King Domino Duel did not feel like a cash-in on the roll and write craze. It felt different, and I really was very happy with it. So there you go, my number 7, King Domino.
My number 7 is a crossover.
Already?
Him.
Ticket to Ride.
Oh.
7 power.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why? No, I thought about.
Tom's got duplicates. Look at that. Look how many he's got.
There's Ticket to Ride, and so there's Ticket to Ride 10th anniversary, Ticket to Ride 15th anniversary.
Right.
No,
True.
but Europe is its own game. So is Nordic countries and Markland and Germany, and Rails and Sails. I mean, those are all separate games. Rail Sails is garbage. But then there's all the expansions. Ticket to Ride, and then there's the Ticket to Ride mini series too. We got Ticket to Ride London and Ticket to Ride
New York.
New York. If a Ticket to Ride game comes out, it's like an autoplay for me.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't love Rails and Sails, but even as much as I said Rails and Sails, blah, it's still better than a lot of other games. It's just that I was comparing it to the awesomeness of Ticket to Ride.
Right.
So, yeah, fantastic series. Al Moon keeps, every once in a while he's like, you know what, I'll do something new. And it's either comedy or another Ticket to Ride thing. I like the Ticket to Ride stuff myself.
Number 6.
All right, my number 6 is you're probably going to hear the name of this series show up on Zee's list later on.
Man, you don't know me.
But I am being a little bit more specific. This is one of the two that will have a third installment coming out soon, and that is the Pandemic Legacy series specifically. Not Pandemic generally, but the Legacy series is the one that I really like. And
There's only 2, and there will never be a third. That's what I heard.
Sure. Whatevs. Anyway, Pandemic
It's a
Legacy
rolling right. The third's a rolling
series
right.
1 and 2, both of them have been incredibly thematic experiences, and I really like that. One of the things that lacks for me with Pandemic is the theme is not really there. It just becomes too mechanical for me. And so that's just that. But the Legacy series really brings the theme to the forefront. And that's what I like about it. So that's my number 6, the Pandemic Legacy series.
This didn't make my list because I don't want to give Z any kind of credit. But
I didn't make the game.
I would disagree with you on I feel like it has strong theme. The virus is spreading around. I always felt that theme was pretty strong.
It's cubes. I got to go get rid of some cubes over here. I got to go get some rid of cubes over here. Make sure those color cubes don't get too big.
I'm always thinking of what's going on in the
mechanical.
game. To me, I'm like,
It's mechanical.
there's people dying in there
You do
from
not.
like
No, you don't.
a spread of
He doesn't.
demonology.
He's lying right now.
Demonology.
And then you got to jump in there and be like, no!
He's
And then you
trolling
like get
you
in there or
hard.
like give somebody oxygen or something.
No.
I get into the theme.
No, you don't. Lies.
All right, my number 6 pick is the Hiroshima world. This is all based on an RPG, a Polish RPG. And this includes Hiroshima Hex, 51st State, Convoy, first and second versions of some of those things, all that stuff. But mainly it's those 3 games. And the RPG, I guess, if you want to count it. There's also a Hiroshima Tactics game, which is a miniatures game. As far as I know, is not released in the U.S.
Games that take place in the same universe can be considered a series?
No. Z is wrong.
I think it's
This
valid.
is a universe, not a series. He could then say Star Wars games.
Man, you right. Anyway, that is my number 6 pick. The Hiroshima world.
And I bet you don't care.
Post-apocalyptic juice. Go.
All right, my number 6 are Dungeons and Dragons games. Well, this is more specific. It's the series of the Castle Ravenloft. I don't even know what the series is called. There's 6 of them, I think. Castle Ravenloft, Wrath of Ashardlin, Legends of Drizzt, all from Wizards of the Coast, and then WizKids picked them up. The Temple of Elemental Evil, Dungeon of Mad Mage, Tomb of Annihilation. All of these actually are compatible with each other, but they're all their own separate game too.
So the WizKids and Wizards of the Coast ones continue to be compatible?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Although Kevin Wilson took over the development of them, so he made changes. He made it more of a campaign that you could play through. As the first 3, they're just straight up.
At which point in the line did they start getting good?
At least they're a series.
Yeah, but at which point in the series, excuse me, did they start getting good?
Like the first time I played one.
Can we turn the lights up in here? There's a lot of shade up in here.
Oh, I thought.
Thank you. Oh, I can see again.
What?
Anyhow, my number 6, the Dungeons & Dragons board games that are in this universe, because it's
Legend of Snooze.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5. This is where we're starting to get to the good stuff. y'all.
Finally.
All right. This series of games technically is two series, and one of them only has one game in it, but the other one has 3. This is the Birth of America and the Birth of Europe series. But they're really kind of the same. It's 878, 1775, 1812, 1754. These are all from Academy Games.
You don't think these are the same series? I mean, 878's the same game.
The 878 is called the Birth of Europe.
Really? So you changed the name?
Yes.
Whatever. We make our own rules here. All in the same series. I declare it.
Birth of series is what
These
I call
are just in the same universe.
it. Birth of... Jeez. Yeah.
No kidding,
Called
Sherlock.
History, you weirdo. What in the world? So anyway, these are all great games. They all use the same system of gameplay, so that's one of the really cool things about it. If you learn one, you've essentially learned the others, but not the others.
I was about to say something.
I
So
know
good
you
thing,
were.
good
You
thing.
I wasn't going to say anything.
The other 3. So that's a cool thing about it as well. But their Conflict of Heroes series that Academy Games also has is almost the same idea, where you can learn the system and then you can populate that system in those other games and you know what you're doing for the most part. There's differences, but this game is my favorite. I am not so big on the Conflict of Heroes series, but the Birth of series is really fun, and I really enjoy all of them. Number 5, the Birth of series from Academy
Sam's all
Games.
about the birthing today. Aliens birthing and the birth of series, and it's just strange. My number 5 is a crossover, y'all.
It's with me.
Not with me.
It's
Why
with me
would-
for sure. Because
It's
you want to
the
cross over.
Death
then-
of series from Eric Lang.
The death of
No, it's the Gift Project.
I knew it.
That's my number 5, the Gift Project. Here is the correct order for how good these are, okay? Tom was right about Yinch, number 1. Czar is number 2. Link is number 3. The new one is very good.
You don't play Divine enough.
Then Devon would be next. Then what's left?
Zert's Punked and
Punked is for sure
Devon.
last. And then I would go Gif, then Punked, then lastly is
Zert's?
I'm sorry, Gif, Zertz, and last is Punked. That one's just not that good. The connected 2 sides.
It's okay.
And they like shift up and you rotate. That one I don't like as much. Most of them honestly are very good, and this is a fantastic series. This is a timeless series. It really does feel that way. The games are clean for the most part. Not just aesthetically, but the design philosophy behind them. They're engaging. They're thoughtful but short. They're approachable but deep. I really like this line of games. And technically, yes, you can combine them, but not really. The idea is the project part of this series of games is that you're playing GIF and you want to use this one piece that has a power. They're called potentials. So I want to use this. If I want to introduce that into our game, we need to stop this game and go play a different game. Like if I want to use the Devon potential, we need to pause this, play Devon, and if I win Devon, then I can use this potential in this piece. That is insanity.
Yeah, but couldn't you just use them anyway?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. If I want to play Devon, I just say, you just give each player a couple of them or something. That's insane. It's just...
I have to say, I like this series, but for a while, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was almost like a pretentiousness, like, you play abstracts? Abstracts are garbage! Except for these.
That's true. It happens with party games nowadays.
Yeah, sure, and that's, yeah.
Anyway, my number 5, GIF.
My number 5, I suspect, will be later on Sam's list. It's one of the few quote-unquote series that jumps around from many different publishers because it's all by the same designer, and that's the Command and Colors series.
Is that a series?
Well, in my mind, it's a series of games. First Battle Cry came out. Then Memoir
Lions
44.
on the list. Why you playing? Why you playing?
The Commander covers Ancients and Medieval and Battlelore, which actually is not designed by, second edition is not designed by Richard Berg. They just used the system.
Mistake, then.
I don't know. I like these series. I have not played them all. In fact,
Space Alert.
there's at least 4 that I have not played, I think. Red Alert.
Yeah.
Red Alert, I haven't played the
Oh,
Samurai
Red Alert
one.
is also one of these games?
Yeah.
I've seen that cover. I've never realized it was one of those.
We opened it live
Oh,
here
you've
on
seen
the
the
show.
cover? Yeah,
I've seen
it's
that
here.
cover somewhere.
Mentioned the fact that it was in that series.
Oh, okay.
On a board game breakfast that you were part
I'll
of.
pay attention to y'all speaking.
Just thinking that. Okay. Listen to y'all.
Anyway, I haven't
Okay,
played the
Bobby.
Samurai one. I haven't played the World War I one.
That one's called The Great War.
That is correct.
That's a good guess.
Good job, Z.
Hercules, Hercules.
All right. Fantastic. There's a lot of war games out there, but these, the simplicity of them, and they actually can take the game and make it more complex if they want to. I like how it all comes together. Very, very cool. That is the Command and Color series, my number 5.
All right.
Number 4.
My number 4 won't be on Tom's list because he just doesn't like fun, apparently. But it might be on Z's list because I know he likes these games.
Not gonna be.
Although I doubt I will be because, again, he's stuck on this whole GIF crud. But anyway, the Zombicide series of games,
Oh,
my
yeah.
number 4.
I didn't even consider these, but that
now,
is a good series.
I did put the original set in there. It is getting a revamp, so take that for what it's worth. But the other 3 are the ones that really have pulled this one to the
Well, isn't
limelight
Black
for
Plague
me.
and Green Horde the same game almost?
They're standalone.
They are standalone.
No,
yeah.
but I mean the rules. Like if you like one, you're gonna like the other. I don't
You
see
can
that.
combine them.
You can combine them, but they do play. They do have different play styles, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
I mean,
technically, can't you combine the first and Black Plague?
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I think
Just
in
that
the
the
back of the
pieces
rule book
won't
they tell
match.
you like this keyword means this, so that you can combine them.
Okay.
Which is insanity, but
I've never wanted.
Well,
to
it's
do
if you
so.
wanted to. Like we just got those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
If you want to use those in the Black Plague universe, you're like, whoa, Donatello, we're in the past.
that would actually work though because of that storyline that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had
Where they went in the
from
past.
that really bad movie.
TMNT 3.
Yes.
I never watched that one.
Oh, it's the best.
No, it was not. Anyway, Black Plague, Green Horde, and Invader are the ones that have really kind of brought this series to the limelight for me. It's my number 4, the Zombicide series.
Honestly, I would have considered it, but I haven't played the first. I don't think I would be interested by
No,
now.
I don't think you would want to go back. It would
Right.
feel like a step back.
Yeah.
I really like Black Plague. That's a solid, fun game.
Green Horde is
I did
probably
not
too
really
hard.
like Green Horde very much. And then Invader I did like again. So it was like, up, down, up again, but
Yeah.
I've only played the one time.
Got it.
And honestly, it has the potential to be even better for me than Black Plague, but I've only played the one time.
Got it.
All right, my number 4 is a crossover once again. Ticket to Ride.
A 3-way crossover!
She's got a donkey to slide.
He got some donkey juice.
Oh, is that all you're going to say?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, you want me to explain things? I like me a little zoogum zoog, baby. Done. 4.
All right. My number 4 is a series of escape room games. Which one? Yeah, you're not sure.
Exit.
It's Unlock, actually.
I was getting to it. Hold on. Exit the room and let me think. Unlock. Is it
So-
unlock?
Yes, Z.
Yeah. Smart.
So Unlock,
Nerd.
I really like. I said initially that I liked Exit the Room better,
See, I was listening to you back then, but then you left me down, man.
but Unlock has been consistently better, I think, for me than the Exit Rooms have been.
Fine.
They're both really great series. I didn't want to put them both on the list. To have this next one is Exit, then this.
Bind them.
Nope. I don't do. I follow the rules that I made up in my head. No
That's
one
actually.
else.
I did not consider escape room series, but that's obvious and it's a good choice. I really probably should have.
And also, one of the cool things from here is that you can replay these. Like all these are in our library.
Oh, you
The
mean
exit-
not you yourself, but people could
right.
replay
The
them.
exit games you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
So, also, I feel like the exit games have about reached the limit of what they can do with those boxes. I feel, because they don't want to put a lot of components in them. They're trying to sell them for a cheap price, so it's mostly just paper and stuff. You can only do so much with that after a while. Unlock uses the app, which offers a bigger, wider range of stuff.
That's true.
So Unlock, my number. What are we at?
4.
4.
Number 3.
My number 3 is the second one that only has currently 2 titles in it. And that is what I'm calling the Midgard series from Gray Fox Games. This has Champions of Midgard, Reavers of Midgard, and I could not for the life of me remember what the third one is going to be when it gets published.
I just know that it's like a very
Records of
Ameritrashy
Midgard.
type
It
game.
is. It's going to be the Ameritrash version or the Ameritrash installment for this series. Champions was a hybrid. Reavers is a very heavy Euro game, and then the next one, which is coming, is going to be very.
Well, this breaks a lot of my rules for me, but mostly because I haven't played Reavers yet.
Sure.
Oh, you
So,
haven't.
Champions is an amazing game.
Yes, it is.
I'm done. That's all I have information
Reavers
on.
is also a very good game. It might be a little too heavy for me, but it's a very good game.
It's a Euro-ish one.
How many of your top
weird that they
lists are
called it
Viking
Reavers.
themed?
The
Is that
fact
the
that they
only
called
one?
that one
This is the only
Reavers, you know what I mean?
Sure. Architects.
Oh, that's true.
Huh?
Well, it has 3 things, but he doesn't really.
North Sea.
What?
The North Sea
What are you talking
trilogy. 2 of your top series are Vikings.
Oh.
about? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah. Okay.
And Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride.
Right. Vikings.
Pillage and plunder on the trains.
They don't have a Viking one yet, do they?
But anyway, that is my number 3, the Midgard series from Gray Fox.
All right, my number 3 is, according to the publisher, a series. They have a name for the series. It's called the Arkham Files series of games. And this includes Arkham Horror, Elder Sign, Arkham Horror the card game, Mansions of Madness First Edition, Mansions of Madness Second Edition, Eldritch Horror,
And Arkham Horror Second Edition?
Slap Your Mama So Good, Cthulhu Tentacles. I don't know what else.
That's pretty bad if you think about that sentence you just said.
Yes.
Tentacles that are so good when you consume them.
You'll slap your mother?
Slap your mama.
I've said that before.
Yes, like slap your mama good.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Why
that's
would
the
something
thing.
be good that would make you slap your mother?
Because
Because you can't help yourself.
traditionally, your mother is supposed to be the best cook in your life. So if it's better than, if it's so good, it's gonna make you smack your mama and say, "Why didn't you cook for me like this?"
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, I
That's
was-
not
I
it.
thought
just
you
made
were-
that up. Don't.
It sounds good. If you just made that up, that is solid, man. That was real good. I like that. Anyway, I really like my favorite, of course, from all these games is the card game, the living card game.
Are you kidding? Are you sure?
But I do like Mansions of Madness. I do like Third Edition, which is getting not as much, I think, buzz, I guess. Third
No,
Edition,
that's
I
true.
like.
It isn't getting a ton of
Elder
buzz.
Sign is a good dice game, though it's probably done by now. Came out with a lot of expansions, but likely done. They got a new one that just came out, 0 Hour, is that what it's called? Final Hour.
No one cares.
Final Hour. Somebody's gonna care.
Somebody throwing shade.
It's
up in
new,
hell.
okay? Culture of the New does not care if the game's
It's already
good.
out. Done.
Oh, you're right, that is old.
It's a week old. Finished.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wait. Is it a week yet? Yes. It's a week old. Done.
That's it. You sold every copy you were gonna sell. Final Hour.
This does not necessarily feel like a series, but it means that you can't say anything against my number 3.
No,
Oh, I doubt it.
That's
I
what
could
I was
still
just
say
thinking.
anything.
This doesn't feel like a series to me. It just feels
Actually, I would argue that Arkham Horror and Eldritch are definitely feel like a series there.
like, yeah, there's only 2 games, so invalidated. Sorry.
My number
You
3
just
pick.
put 2 on your number 3.
Arkham Files.
Has a third coming.
My number 3, I made up a name for this series because there isn't one.
Ooh.
It's called the Galaxy series. And this is Roll for the Galaxy, Race for the Galaxy, New Frontiers, and show the next slide. Oh no. Oh, I didn't put it on there. I just put on the picture of the
It's called
Jump Drive. Jump
yeah.
Drive. Now, these all have a lot of similarities to them. They're all about collecting these victory points, but they all do it in different ways. Oh, no. This
What?
is a good choice.
I haven't said anything.
You're settling into your I disagree and feel smug about it pose. That's a yoga thing. It's called the smug.
No, come on now. I was just relaxing my back.
In that chair?
What was the other picture that was up there?
This guy.
New Frontier, that's the board game for it's the Race for the Galaxy board game.
These
But
are
also
not
Race for the
related.
Galaxy,
I'm kidding.
they're
Go.
not related?
Go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
Roll for the Galaxy. It's Race for the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, New Horizons, and Jump Drive.
Frontiers. You were actually looking at it and you said the wrong word.
Oh yeah, good point. But whatever. There's 4 games. It's a solid series.
New Frontiers.
Oh, jeez,
The board
again?
game. Race for the Galaxy,
Race for the Galaxy.
Roll for the Galaxy,
Roll for the Galaxy.
and then Jump Drive, which is like it looks like a simplified Race for the Galaxy, but it's actually a fairly different game.
Sure.
But they all use these. This is the common denominator. They use these victory points, all of them.
They're also from the same
all games
designer.
that
I mean,
have to get victory points in are part of a series.
no, these are definitely same universe, same name, same designer, same series.
Oh.
And they include Race for the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, New Frontiers,
And Jump Down.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Wait, you didn't consider this at all, actually, because you like these games. Oh, you even played the board
No,
game.
I don't really. I like Race for the Galaxy.
You don't
Roll,
like Roll?
I've really cooled on Roll. Never played the board game, and the little one is nice, but
Oh, they're all amazing.
the one that stood out is Race, and then the rest, I'm like, they're also there.
No way, they're all really good. You
I
like Roll a
disagree.
lot, I think, right?
I like Roll for the Galaxy. That's the only one from this series I like.
You like
didn't put it
Race
on
with
there
that
either.
expansion.
Huh?
You like Race with that Orb expansion where you ran on it.
Oh, yeah. So much fun.
I didn't include the expansions on these. Okay. Alrighty. My number 3, the Galaxy series.
Number 2.
I always like it when I do the lists with you guys because it just solidifies the fact that I like better games than you guys do.
Oh, I thought he was just saying it just solidifies it. I
Let
don't
me
like
do
you.
This again. Let me do this again. Go ahead. What you got?
All right, my number 2. Chat has actually been calling this for a while now.
That's
But
because you're the most obvious of us. We're subtle. Do you hear me? We're subtle.
anyway, this one I know has 3 installments in it because we just got one in a couple days ago. And that is the Warhammer Underworld series from Games Workshop. Shadespire, Nightfall, and now Dreadfane.
It's not the same game.
Actually, Dreadfane has a lot of differences to it now. Not a lot. 2 differences. They've
Yeah, the words on the cover. Dread,
no.
Fane.
No, they actually have, they're called danger cards in this one that adds another phase to the game. So this Dreadfane is actually changing the game. In Night Vault, they added magic to the mix. Shadespire is the most basic, so that would be your jumping in
That's the
point
first
if you
one.
can find it. Yeah, it's the first one. So this series of games is really great. I think it was a brilliant move for Games Workshop to make because it uses all of their models and it's a very simple game to teach and it's a very quick game
Can
to
you
teach
use
as
these
well.
models in other games?
You can.
You do whatever you want.
You can.
They're yours.
Really? They're pretty cheap comparatively.
They are. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, squads in their other games are usually minimum 5, I think.
Fine, so I'll buy 6 of these games.
No,
and it's
that's
cheaper.
It's not cheaper. Don't stop lying. It's not cheaper. It's not
Oh.
cheaper.
All
Stop
right.
it. Stop it. But my number 2 is under Warhammer Underworld's Shadespire, Nightfall, and Dreadfane.
A lot of words that I can't quite pronounce.
Yes, you can if you try hard.
I can't.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a series of small solitaire or 2-player games.
The Onirim garbage.
Yes, it's called the
Onirim Garbage.
Onirim Garbage
Sorry,
series
the,
of
the
games.
Onirim garbage series, yes.
Yes, that's right. No, it's called the Oniverse or Oniverse.
That actually has the word verse in this. No, I'm kidding. This is definitely a series.
Yeah, they're all a series. They're from the same designer. They look the same, or very similar. They're all for 1 player or 2. They all do have a 2-player mode. Those 2-player modes are always cooperative, of course. And honestly, they've been on an upswing again for me lately. The last 2 that came out are really good. So the last one was that Arion game. which is a Yahtzee-esque game with a bit of push your luck in it. It really worked out well. And the one that came out right before it also had dice. Only the last two have had dice. And that one was actually a roll and move game. You would roll dice, but you had to advance the bad guys as much as you advanced you. Like, you know, you'd assign a die to the bad guys and one to you. You were collecting things along the path, and they were coming at you, eating things out of the way. You have to make sure by the time you reached the island that you're trying to get to, your ship is fully manned with these little tokens. Very simple. That one's actually really short. And the games are just, they're an acquired taste visually. I think that's a nice way of putting that. But they are neat games, and they're very portable, and I find them fun. So the Oniverse series of games, the best one is still Onirim or Onirim.
Yeah, I've never played any of these. One of the great shames of my gaming career
I doubt that.
is
It's okay to not.
well, it's not that.
You're not very well versed in these games.
I'm not Oniversed.
I see what you did there.
All right.
Mine was classy.
My number 2 is the largest series listed so far.
Excuse
although
me?
I suspect,
Bigger than Carcassonne.
Yeah, it is actually. That is the Cosmos 2-player game series.
Not a series.
It's literally called a series.
Disagree.
All right, so there's
It's like a
part of
like
it.
a publishing house is a series now.
No, this is a series in that Cosmos makes a ton of games. This was the 2-player game series, which had some of the best games ever made. The Lost Cities, Odin's Ravens.
I knew actually that this would be on your list.
So you were prepared.
That's pretty much the only reason you wanted to make this list, I think, was because this one is the series of 2-player games from Cosmos.
To be fair, this was definitely
But-
the first one popped in my head.
I know, but does Alea count? Is that next?
That's not on mine, but if you had put the big box series, I would have been okay with it.
Because they're numbered, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's called a series. I said we could define this the way we wanted to.
Then I don't want to hear no garbage.
No, it doesn't
and
matter.
my number one pick
here it comes.
is actually just a few different games I enjoy.
It's Zee's series of favorite games.
He's already managed to get almost all his top 10 on his list anyway, if you've noticed.
Yeah, baby.
Anyway,
No, that's fine. You're right. It's massive,
This-
and there are a lot of good games.
this
in there.
is a fantastic series of games, and I really... Now, to be clear, there's a couple scattered throughout there which are dreadful. Crocodile Pool Party, the New York one, I didn't... Well, some people actually like the New York one, but
New York's not bad.
I didn't like it.
The Times Square.
Didn't like it.
Yeah. What about Blue Moon? Huh?
Well, you like it more than me.
Yeah, it's the best.
Lord of the Rings Confrontation,
That's
Lord of the
pretty
Rings
good.
The Duel, Lord of the Rings The Search.
A lot of these are no longer have been reprinted outside of this line.
Actually, the one in this line that shot to the top, it didn't used to be my favorite, but is now easily is probably Targi. Targi just keeps going up for me every
One
time
of the
I play
newest
it.
ones too.
Sure, and then it's one that I think they just reprinted it now.
I believe so, and there's an expansion coming, ideally soon.
All right, so my number 2, the Cosmos
laughing at-
2-player line for 2.
Comments over there.
I'm not giving the comments no more. He's like getting lost over there.
No, I'm not getting
He's
lost.
laughing at
I'm
you,
totally
boss.
staying
Let's go to
on.
number 1.
And finally, number 1.
I got dice.
Ooh, spiky dice. Which one do I get?
Yellow. I didn't
It
have.
hurts.
No, it doesn't.
Watch. You got to be a man. Should have painted.
Do what?
I can
Show
squeeze
no
it. and
pain,
just
I guess.
suffer through the pain.
All right, here I
It
go.
doesn't hurt.
I saw these at Gen Con and I wanted them. You know they look like
I got
they
a
did
3.
A cake where they did that.
Yep, that's exactly what they look
All right, here
like.
we go. What do I get?
Wait, did you just put yours on a 3?
No, I rolled it at Tom.
No, he bounced it off my
right.
chest. That's
Yeah,
a
I
legal
did.
move.
Fine.
I got a
Is it-
1. Oh, we're supposed to roll them where people can see them. Where is that?
Well, that
You got a 5.
Here, on the dice tower itself. Go ahead. Reroll,
Go.
everyone. 2, 6, and 3.
All right, that's my choice then.
Just
Said Alea didn't flinch. I don't know what yours could be. Let's go with Sam, then me, then you.
There's a lot of Alea games I don't like.
So you
That's
actually
why it
didn't
wouldn't make my
change
list. Like I like Puerto Rico
anything.
and stuff, but there's a lot before that we thought were okay, and then a lot of the outside ones I hated.
it became the House of Feld.
I thought you were
eventually.
going to put the Alea small box series on your list.
How
Maybe
many
still
of those
are.
games are?
I went to look at them, and you like Saint Malo and San
Yeah,
Juan.
San Juan. San Juan moved series.
It's true. Moved to the
actually
middle.
not fun.
Right, they have
It's
a
super
new
confusing.
one.
They're kind of
They
soft,
killed one
spiky
series and
ice.
made a slightly bigger
Not
and a
fuzzy
smaller
at all.
one. Why are you still speaking though?
I'm talking to them because you guys are having your own little thing over there.
Oh, you cute.
All right, can we?
All right, go, Sam. You're first.
All right, so here we go. My number one. They've been calling for this
Oh.
one as well. Yeah, they kind of stink. And that is the Command and Color series, a crossover with Mr.
I said that earlier, and then you lied.
You did lie.
I did, but he called me out on the lie.
I never
so it's
called
fine.
you out.
Yeah, I did.
We didn't even
Now,
think you were
this
lying.
I had a weird time calling this the Command and Color series because I actually don't enjoy nearly as much the Command and Colors games as I do.
No,
the
I get
other
that, but
ones.
it's still called
It's still
that.
the same system, right? It's still the same system. So, MMR44, Battle Cry, Great War, Battle Lore. These are all ones that are my favorites. But it's not to say that no, it is to say I don't really enjoy the Command and Colors. I don't like the ancient combat. I like more modern.
If he had
combat.
lived back then, he would have been full of peace.
Full of
True.
peas?
Peace.
Peas.
Well, that too,
Full of
probably.
Peas?
Well, I do like peas. They are good.
Yeah.
You ready?
So
I
is
think they're
Liar's
overrated.
Dice part of this series
I just don't
from
like.
Richard
You
Boyd?
have to eat them with a spoon because they fall off your fork too easy.
Oh, that's true. And no, what doesn't even make any sense?
What? What did he say?
Is Liar's Dice part of the series?
It's a Richard Boyd game,
No.
kind of.
No, sir. But anyway,
fight.
these are. I've talked ad nauseum for these guys about these games, and I like them a lot. So, and you all know why. So I'm not going to belabor the point. My number one, the Command and Colors series.
I think it's a good choice. Valid choice, Mark.
Valid.
What's my number one?
Pandemic.
No,
Shut your mouth!
go ahead. What a waste of. Go ahead. Say
Well, I'm
it.
supposed to pick my favorite, right?
Yeah.
He already put it up on the screen.
Well, let me lie a little. Yeah, Pandemic. I like Iberia the best of the spin-offs. I'm not counting Legacy in that. They're not replayable.
Is there anything in the Pandemic series that you're not as big of a fan of?
Sure, I don't like that one game that wasn't really part of the series, but they put in there.
Oh, where that you were a virus?
Yeah, that one's okay at best.
Yeah, it really is okay.
And
Is that
then,
one of the small box ones?
yeah, it's a small box. And I don't like not that I don't like it, okay? I like it, but not nearly as much as, like, I super enjoy Pandemic, Iberia, Fall of Rome. All three of those are fantastic of the replayable ones. And then below that, you've got The Cure, and then below that, you've got that Rising Tide game.
What about Cthulhu?
Oh, Cthulhu's up there too. I really like
Oh,
that.
good. I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Cool thing about like Iberia and Fall of Rome and that type of thing, they take the same system and they use a theme better with it.
You're probably right. I mean, they do a good job, especially the Fall of Rome really does a good job
Yeah.
using the cubes as invaders. It doesn't have anything to do with disease, right? But so it's weird that you're like, okay, Pandemic, something, what? Iberia does, actually.
Iberia, the limited edition, someone pointed out.
It's very limited. Good luck finding a copy out there, folks.
How long's it been limited now?
Yeah, right.
Like 3
Anyway,
years?
Pandemic is my number one. I know it's obvious, but it's good.
Yeah.
Actually, Z came close to picking my number one. It's you just thought of the wrong publisher. This one's not numbered, but they're essentially the same. They're in one series.
Great Designers series from Stronghold.
Wow, that didn't even get a response. It just got a laugh.
Dang, dude.
Wow, that's harsh.
That is harsh, but that's
Wow.
It's what the young kids today are calling savage.
that's almost like what's the one from Calliope called?
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it's
Like
sort of
legendary
designers. I don't know what it's called, but
Now
yeah.
this one has no name officially, but a lot of people look at it as a series, and I do too. And that's the Large Box Rosenberg Lookout Games. It's definitely a series of games. Agricola, La Havre,
Loyang.
Orla Labora, Gates of Loyang, Caverna, Feast for Odin.
I guess you were right that we could say whatever we wanted to, count it as a series.
Oh,
Okay.
whatever. That's essentially a series. Come on, they all play very similar.
These are from the same designer. That's about it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, if a designer makes a lot of games and in their
mean, that's
design
not
philosophy they are repetitive,
Not even
they're
sorry.
actually working on a series.
That's not even the same
Go
publisher.
to the next slide.
It's not even the same
Let
publisher.
me see the next slide real quick.
It's got a similar
Oh, you're
component.
right.
They all use
I am
cardboard
suddenly
kits.
convinced.
No, they're all similar. If you like one, you're probably gonna like the rest of them. That's
You know the one I've wanted to play actually is at the Gates of Liang, because I played that new game he came out with, Reichhold.
right.
And I didn't really like it, but I heard that Loyang is kind of like that, but a little more robust.
Hang on, someone said great
that right?
choice. I need to highlight that comment.
Dalo W said, UA Rosenberg's Harvest series is what it's called. It does have a name, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still wrong to
I
include.
don't have a ring to kiss. Or I would make you.
I can give you a ring.
Now this sounds like a bad thing. All right. Well, those are our top 10 game series. What are ones we missed? Here's your chance. Ask on Facebook or YouTube in the comments, and we'll tell you why we didn't put those particular series on our list.
Amy
Alea.
says, they're in boxes, so it's a series.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I could see a series being Uwe Rosenberg's Tetris series. That's a series.
that is, but that would not make my top 10.
But these feel very loosely connected.
Okay,
even
so we got
played
some
half of
questions
them.
coming up here. We
I
got
played
some,
half
got
of
some
them, I
questions.
think.
All right, what we got?
A couple for Z. Why
Go, hit
no?
me.
Why no, Mr. Jack?
I thought about it. It's my number 11.
Glory to Rome, Uchronia, and
Shut up.
Motanai.
Glory to what?
I like, they're very repetitive.
And then Tom, Kemet, Cyclades, and Giants. Actually, that's just two games.
Actually,
really.
I thought Giants.
Oh, okay.
I thought about that actually, but then there's only 4 games in the series, and I wasn't a huge fan of Inish, so I thought it'd be kind of weird. Sam, what about the Eric Lang mini series? Yeah, why didn't you put that one on and you put the other one?
Because I don't feel like they're a series.
Got it.
They
All right,
don't
you said
feel
that already.
similar enough for them to be a series.
Someone
in
said
my
the
opinion.
Ugly Animal series. What is the Ugly Animal series? Mike Parkinson said that. The Ugly Animals?
Mike Parkinson said that?
No,
Are you
Matt
sure?
Parkinson.
Oh, Matt Parkinson. I was about to say,
The Ugly-
Mike Parkinson is trolling you if he said it.
The Ugly Animals series?
All right, what else are people saying?
Was the Dead of Winter series mentioned?
No,
No, but it's
how many
only
games? 2, right?
It's the same game, literally.
Unless you
Yeah.
count Gen 7 or whatever that's called.
Oh, that would
Right.
be Crossroads series, and yeah. Axis and Allies has a series, someone says, and they love
Sure
them
it
all,
is.
but that wouldn't make my list.
Roombound series? No. That's one of those things that's just in a universe.
Yeah, if you're saying the Rune Wars, that's a universe. I don't feel it at all like. And if you're going Runebound first, second, third edition, it's just editions of the
game,
same
right.
game.
Pack of Games, Z? Long
Oh, that's a
Pack,
good choice.
Long Pack series or whatever you
I
call
guess
it.
that's true. I guess that is a series. And honestly, for what they are very good.
I'm putting them all in the Dice Tower
I
library.
kept about half of them all in a single pouch. It's about that big. And I've got 8 games in there, something like that. And yeah, that's a good pick, honestly. It's my number 11.
All right, Matt answered what his Ugly Animal series was. Is the cockroach poker boxes.
Oh, I call that the bug series. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, I only like Cockroach Poker.
Yeah, I don't even know the other ones. I know cockroach poker, and that's about
There's a
it.
bunch of different ones. There's the ones where we were trying to throw away cards.
The Coloretto series, Zulretto, Aquaretto, and Coloretto. I just didn't include it because they would be further down the list.
Right,
Sure,
for me
I
too.
like Zulretto.
I did-
That's my
Aquaretto
number
felt like
12.
Aquaretto felt like a weak Zulretto, and Coloretto was good, but why play that when you can play
There's
Zulretto?
Zulretto, the
Right.
dice game.
Oh, I never played
There's,
that one.
yeah, there's Coloretto Amazonas, which is not a very good card
I didn't
game.
include the Manhattan. Kabuki Kid is asking about the Manhattan Project series. Just further down the list.
I thought about it, but I really
Sure,
like
but-
a lot. Just the second one.
I like the second and the first, but I don't like the third, and I hated the card game.
The Realms series: Star Realms, Hero Realms, Cthulhu Realms.
Those are the same game almost.
No, that's okay. I would say that counts. Okay, what can we put in the one from Stoneblade because it feels like it's in the same series.
True.
Cthulhu Realms had some symbology problems. I remember that.
I do remember that.
And Hero Realms and Star Realms are fine.
Hero Realms was the better finalized one. I just didn't like the theme.
Keyflower.
Ooh, Bob mentioned one I didn't think of. The Game Master series. That's one I mean, probably not now. I don't know that it's aged real well. Fortress America, X and Allies, Samurai Swords. That's a good series. I mean, in a day, that was like, I make this list in the 90s. That's number 1 on the list. There wouldn't even be a close 2.
Right.
But they just haven't aged well. Fortress America does the best. X and Allies is too long. Shogun. Those are the only 3. The rest kind of faded off.
Vital Lacerda series. Those are all
Not
pretty.
a series.
Well, it's yeah.
What about the Tiny Epic series?
I guess that is a series.
Yes. I
I'm
don't
just
like.
basically deciding
I like
whether
about
some
half
of
of
the
them.
series are not on the fly, and
What about the Oink games? Are
Yeah,
they
someone
considered-
mentioned that
is
here,
considered a
too.
Series? I don't think so.
That one's a tough one because that's all they make are those games.
Yeah.
There's no other ones.
10 Days.
10 Days was my number 11.
Okay.
You're lying. You've had several number 11 picks.
10 Days. I had the Legendary games was my number 12, but I
I
didn't.
don't want to see your list. You faked it. Wait, what's that say? Days of Wonder big boxes?
Well, I didn't put it on the list, did
Good,
I?
because that's not a series.
I know, which is why I didn't make the
The
list.
fact that you considered it sickens me to my core.
No way. You definitely thought of some of these things.
I was thinking to myself,
Why
what's
did-
a series?
Somebody said Gloomhaven seems like a series.
It's true by itself.
Is Thunderstone a series?
It's the same game. They just it's new versions. Yes,
Yeah.
the Quest and 3 and 2 are really far apart from each
Coin
other.
series.
That's Coin is definitely a series. It's just not one that I'm ever going to
Yeah,
play.
We don't
At
play
the Gathering,
We've played a few games.
Coin is card something. I forget.
Wow.
OIN. Card, something. Yep, that's right.
They're big, hefty, fairly war game-ish type games from GMT.
Yep.
That take like
Maria?
6 or 7 hours.
Maria part of it?
I don't think so. No.
Maria.
Cold War series. That only has Twilight Struggle in 1989 in it, I think. So that's probably why I didn't make your list.
Alrighty. Well, that's enough of series.
Yep.
I'm no longer serious.
Betrayal out the series.
That's all right. We need to end.
The Betrayal
Alrighty.
has 3 games by now with the Legacy one.
Yeah.
We'll be streaming tomorrow. Live gaming.
Yeah.
We'll be playing Foodies
We're going
for
to pick
sure.
a couple of series and play through all their games. We each get 1 pick.
Cosmo 2-player line.
Cosmos 2-player line. I'm going to pick the...
Oh no!
I want to play through the entirety of the Oniverse series with you guys watching me play.
I think I'm gonna.
Are you done yet, Z?
Might call in. I don't think I make it today.
Alrighty. Counterinsurgency is what COIN stands for. All right, so I wasn't even right about the card.
Cards. Something.
Counter CO insurgency IN.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Zee Garcia. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm Sam Healy. Thanks for joining us, folks. We appreciate it. See you on the flip side.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.